The first light of dawn touched the rooftops of Ouagadougou. The capital was just beginning to stir. Motorbikes buzzed past in clouds of red dust. Vendors arranged their baskets of mangoes and groundnuts, and the air carried the soft murmur of the morning prayer. On this day, however, something unusual was about to happen. President Ibrahim Traoré, a soldier-turned-leader, rose before his advisors and ministers had arrived. He made a decision that surprised even his closest aides. Instead of sitting through reports and meetings, he quietly told his driver, "Today, no ceremonies, no escorts. Drive me to Ouagadougou Hospital, alone." The driver hesitated, but obeyed. Minutes later, without flashing sirens or military trucks, the president slipped into the heart of the city. When he entered the hospital, many did not even recognize him at first. He wore no formal uniform, only a simple shirt and boots. Patients and families crowded the hallways, some resting on mats, others waiting endlessly for medicine. Nurses rushed between rooms, doctors worked with limited equipment, and ceiling fans turned slowly in the heavy air. Ibrahim walked slowly, shaking hands, listening carefully to each person he met. He bent down to greet children, comforted mothers, and thanked exhausted staff. Everywhere he turned, he saw the weight his people carried, and it pressed on his own heart. Then something unexpected happened. As he turned a corner, his boot slipped slightly on the wet floor. A woman in a faded blue uniform gasped and hurried forward. "Careful, sir. The floor is wet." She was holding a mop. Her back was slightly bent, her hands roughened by years of hard work. Yet there was a quiet dignity in her presence. She looked at him briefly, then lowered her eyes as if embarrassed to speak to a man of his rank. Ibrahim steadied himself and smiled warmly. "No need to worry, madame. What is your name?" She said, "Aminata." The name struck him like a spark. He froze. Something in her voice, something in the way she said it, awakened a memory buried deep within him. For the rest of the tour, he could not stop thinking of her. He had greeted hundreds of people that morning, but this woman, this cleaner named Aminata, lingered in his mind. Finally, unable to resist, he asked the guard to take him back to her. He found her in a quiet corner, wringing her mop into a bucket. "Aminata," he said carefully, "tell me, where are you from?" She looked up, surprised. "I am from Ouagadougou village." The president's breath caught. Ouagadougou, his childhood village. "And," he hesitated, his voice tightening, "did you ever know a woman named Fatima?" Aminata's eyes filled with sudden tears. She placed a trembling hand over her mouth, then nodded. "Yes, Fatima was your mother. And when she became ill, I cared for you. A small boy with curious eyes. I was the one who fed you, who held you when you cried." The words shattered him. For a moment, the noise of the hospital disappeared. He was no longer the president standing in a crowded hallway. He was once again a little boy, remembering gentle hands that had carried him, a voice that had sung him to sleep. His voice broke. You were Mama Nina?" She curved a smile. "Yes, my son. That was what you called me." Tears blurred his vision as he stepped forward. For a long moment they simply held each other, two lives separated by decades, reunited by fate in the most unexpected place. In the days that followed, Ibrahim visited her home. It was small and simple, but filled with warmth. From an old wooden box, Aminata brought out a tiny bracelet made of beads and cowrie shells. "Your mother gave it to me," she said. "She asked me to keep it safe for you." When Ibrahim held it in his hands, he felt the weight of memory. The bracelet was more than beads and shells. It was love preserved through time. "You never stopped caring for me," he whispered. "I never stopped praying for you," Aminata replied. Weeks later, during a national address, Ibrahim stood before the cameras with Aminata beside him. Holding her hand firmly, he spoke not as a commander, but as a son. "This woman," he said, "raised me when I had nothing. She never asked for recognition. She worked silently for years, cleaning hospital floors so others could walk in comfort. Today I honor her, and through her I honor all the women of Burkina Faso who raise children, whether their own or not, with love and sacrifice." The crowd erupted in applause. Reporters captured the moment, and the story spread far beyond the borders of the country. Yet Aminata herself remained humble, speaking only a few words into the microphone. "Love has no boundaries. A child without a mother is every woman's child." That evening, Ibrahim returned with her to Ouagadougou village. Together they sat beneath the great baobab tree, surrounded by curious children. He was no longer just the president. He was her son again. And she was no longer just a hospital cleaner. She was revealed for what she had always been: family. Because true greatness is not forged in palaces or parliaments. It is born quietly, in the love of those who protect us when we are small, and never stop caring, even when the world forgets. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.